Okay, we are sitting now in the Green Pond Formation in Newfoundland, New Jersey, and we have a very interesting situation here that we're going to do a field trip on. This is where a fold starts on one side of the road, comes across to the middle, and goes to the far side of the road. So we're going to be able to map it on all three sides and then be able to analyze that using all of the features that you know. Okay, we are now going to measure some strike and nip measurements that you're going to be able to use on your stereographic analysis. You can see in here that what I'm doing is I'm going to measure things for you. But you can see right off the bat, and I'll give you a hint, the first thing we're going to look at is bedding. So you can see the bedding is coming angled across the picture. And what I'm going to do is take a measurement now. I use my bed extender. I'm going to put it right there. It goes around the corner, and then I'm going to measure it using this Brunton compass. Okay, so we watch until it goes into the middle, and we get that it is north 50 east. And that would be 57 towards the northwest. Okay, so that's how we're going to measure the strike and nip, and you can see the coloration difference on this bedding. All right, and we can also measure bedding from directly on the rock surface. And here we can see again, it comes up north 42 east, and the dip on that is 47 towards the northwest. Okay, so we can walk along this area in this Green Pond Formation, and you can see that there's a lot of bedding still all going the same way. So we don't want to over measure the beds in this area because we'll wind up with too much data in one area. Now here's an interesting thing we can see is that we have our main bedding going this way, and that's the bedding, but notice there are some internal laminations inside of the beds. So you know what those are? Okay, you're right, it's cross bedding. So we can use that, we can rotate these out and figure out the original directions that this was going. So if we measure the bedding surface to start with, we can see that it comes in at north, let's get it straight, north 49 east, and 58 to the northwest. And now we're going to measure the cross bedding. Okay, and the cross bedding is north 14 east, and that is 72 to the northwest. So that can be rotated out. That's our first pair. Okay, as we walk along, we can see again, we can still see that the bedding is running basically in the same direction. Here's a good spot to take another bedding measurement. And we can see the bedding surface right on the top, so we can put the compass right up against it. Okay, we watch till the bubble goes into the middle, and we see we are now at north 59 degrees east. And 56 towards the south, towards the northwest. Okay, we can still see we're in the same unit. We're coming along parallel, and we can still see that the bedding is going about the same way. Sometimes we can see some cross bedding. We're not going to take too many measurements over on this direction, or we'll skew our data. So these are again some mostly still just bedding surfaces that we're looking at. However, we're also going to come up with a couple of other things that will show up in here. And here's one that we can see. It is tough to get this stuff. We have to line it up around the corner, but you can see that something is going on in here. Okay, so in this area we can see some white veins that are coming across like this, and they tend to line up in this area. Now we'll probably see even better ones than these, but we can get we have to sight around the corner to look at these to make sure we get the proper dip on these. So I'm going to say that they're about like this, and the strike on these is north 73 east, and the dip is 35 towards the north. Okay, so that's the main line where they go, but also you can see the tips of these things. And here's the reason I picked this one, is we can actually kind of pick out the 3-dimension on those tips of these. So the orientation of that is north 56th east, and 63 towards the northwest. Okay, and what are those veins called? So you can look those up. It's got the sigmoidal shape on the veins. You can see them all coming all the way across in here. And that is a structure for you. That is, well, I'll tell you, it's a fault. So you could figure out what that is. Here's some more of them. Notice coming right across here, same types of features. I'll measure them where they can see them a little better, but nonetheless, those are good. Okay, so if we want to get along, let's take another look at a bedding surface. Here we have a nice plane of shale coming through here. So the bedding surface comes right to the top. Let's measure that directly. We won't even need to extend the bed. And we get that at north 51 east. And 51 towards the northwest. Okay, so again, we're still running about the same. All of those are usable points on your stereo net analysis. So we could go along, we could still see the beds the same. There's another set of fault planes that comes through here. Okay, so these are coming through, but they're not quite as neat as the last one, so I'm going to let those go and we'll find a better one to measure. And we can come along. Again, we have bedding surface right in front of us, easy to see. This one actually has some cross bedding in it, so let's take a look at that for measuring beds and cross beds. So the bedding is right in here, very easy to pick out. Okay, and we could just measure the beds at that again, north 47 east. And 57 towards the northwest. And then we could see the four sets in like that. Okay, you can look at them right around the corner so we can get a nice measurement on it. And the four sets go through about like so. So we can measure those at those are north 36 east and 79 towards the northwest. Okay, again, we can start seeing, again, the bedding shows up very nicely in here. We're still dealing with about the same bedding. There's some more cross bedding in here. Maybe that's another good spot for some cross beds. Let's see. So there you can see the cross beds very nicely. Top sets in here. Top set bedding goes like this. And you can see even the laminations in that bed. So that would be north 46 east. and 54 towards the northwest. Here's your 4-set beds. 4-set beds are north 36 east and 74 to the northwest. Okay, so those are good 4-set top set beds. We still come along. Again, we're seeing the same type of thing. There's some veining coming in here, and but the bedding is generally parallel to each other. We have enough measurements so far for our strike and dips of top sets, 4 sets. Let's move along again through here and get to the next stop, which will be over here. Okay, we have some big scale cross bedding in here to think about, and we can actually see it and measure that. But we can see that the top set beds are running about this way. So we can just measure a top set like so. And the top sets have changed a little from what we had before. So that's north 50 east and 66 to the northwest. And here is a top set measurement, and that's a nice top set. So we have a nice top set measurement right here, and that top set is coming in at north 49 east and 79 towards the northwest. So that's a pretty steep bedding right there. In fact, all of our bedding is beginning to steepen up a little in here. Okay, so we took one measurement of it. I can get you another measurement right there. That looks like a top set. North 44 east and 68 towards the northwest. So we've steepened up. And now looks like it's going to start getting a little flatter again. So let's see some of these. This is a good spot. We have to get a couple measurements in here where it flattens out. Okay, so in here we can see some top set 4 sets. Here's some good top sets right in here. We'll try to get the 4 set in it. The top sets are about like so. Well, they're not so easy to see. Let's try up in here instead where we can really see the top set. Okay, so here is a top set. Okay, we have a nice top set in here. It's getting a little softer and gentler in the dip, but it's still north 47 east. And the dip on this is 34 to the northwest. Okay, so we've changed quite drastically in the amount. We can still see some 4 sets in here. So this is the top set we saw was there. 4 sets are up here. So the 4 set beds are north again 46 east, and the angles are down at 51 towards the northwest. Okay, if we walk around, continue around here, we should be able to get lower angles on our bedding. Let's try this one, which is an easy one to see. Right there, looks around the corner. We can measure the bedding here at north 56 east. North 56 east, 34 towards the northwest. Okay, so we can see a little bit of bedding right in here, a little hard to get at, but nonetheless, we've got the bedding kind of flipping over, so we must be sitting in the middle of the structure, and we're going to get that to be north 41 east and 23 towards the southeast now. Okay, so we flipped over right through here. We're right in the bottom of this synform, probably a syncline, where we've just trying to go on through the bottom. Okay, so let's see, we were right at the bottom, so we might want to try to get another measurement right in the bottom. Okay, so here's a bedding surface right there, and the bedding surface is almost flat. This is going to be a tough one to get, so let's see. So the strike is still about, well, this one's come over, so the strike is about 355, so it's north 5 west, and the dip on that is about 14 degrees, and that's still going to the northwest. Okay, so we've gone through the bottom of the synform. We're going to start coming up into the antiform. Okay, so we have a little bit of overgrown stuff, but here we can see we're back up into the antiform. So let's take a measurement right here. It's going to be similar to what we've been seeing before. Okay, that would be north 51 east. And 41 towards the southeast. Okay, so we're still on this side towards the southeast. We need to get a couple measurements in here, otherwise we're going to skew all of our data. So let's try another one up in here. So now we're going to look at one up in here, get to use that mirror, and okay, so that would be north 70 east and let's flip it up, north 70 east and 45 towards the southeast. Okay, so we have a couple of measurements so far. We'll probably need to get some more in the hinge area of this fold. Okay, here we have another measurement as we come through. We could probably get one in here. Yep, north 73 degrees towards the east. We're 073, and this one is now dropping off a little bit, and it is 42 degrees towards the southeast. Okay, let's see if we can get around and get some more measurements. Okay, you can see we're right in the top of the antiform now. You can see the stuff coming around the top. And let's try to take a measurement right here on that bedding surface. And this is north 58 east. And it is 33 degrees towards the southeast. Okay, so we're still going southeast in this area. We can even get another one in here, well, maybe right in here to get us right at the top of this fold. So that is north 66 east. And 31 degrees towards the southeast. Maybe we'll try to get one right at the top. This is going to be a tough one. But you got to get those top pieces. They are deadly to have. So let's see where this winds up. Can't even get it on the bottom. It hits my underside of my compass, so I'm gonna have to try to get it from underneath. Remember, you have a lot of error in these. So this is coming in at north 19 east. Yeah, so would that be about right? Yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, I might change that a little. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's north 34 east, and it is 12 degrees now. And this is heading now back towards the northwest. So that's tough when you get in these high spots in here. Let's try another one right up in here. This is north 25 east. North 25 east and 19 towards the northwest. Okay, let's see if we can get some cross bedding. Oh, beautiful cross bedding in here. Look at the cross beds in here. That's perfect. So we can get a measurement of cross bedding and 4-set top set. Look at those beautiful 4-sets right there. Okay, so we have some 4-set beds at north 41 east and 40 towards the northwest. That's the okay, so that's the 4-set beds. Let's try to get a top set while the traffic lets us. And this is north 56 east and north 56 east and 29 towards the northwest. Okay, so we got another top set 4-set pair right there for you. Here's a good spot to take a strike a day. Oh, there's some more beautiful top set 4-sets in this area. Look at those. These are all 4-set beds coming through here. So we could take a 4-set bed right there. And that would come in at north 43 east 043. And then we'll put it in the and that would be at 68 degrees towards the northwest, whereas the top set bed comes in at about like that. Okay, and so we can measure that at north 57 east, or 057, and that would be at 58 degrees towards the northwest, towards the north, right. Okay, so we can see the crossbeds very nicely in there. Those are another set that you can use. So let's get a couple more measurements over here, and we're gonna go across the road, because there you can see that whole antiform on the other side of the road. So that's very impressive. Let's get two more measurements over here and then cross the road. Okay, this is just a plain old bedding surface. And this is at north 46 east and .49 degrees to the northwest. Okay, so we are coming around the other side here and getting some good measurements. Oh, look at, again, some very pretty cross beds right here. There you can see the top set beds right there. Okay, look at those pretty four set beds right in that there. Okay, so that would be at north 29 east 029, and that would be 66 degrees to the northwest. Our top set comes through about like so. So we're gonna have to kind of look around the corner to make sure I can see this one. Yeah, about like that. Okay, and north. So that comes in around north 54 east and uh, 57 towards the northwest. So that's one more set we have in there. Let's see, any more bedding we want to get before we go across the road. There's a nice conglomerate little layer in there. Maybe we'll get that and then call it quits. So the conglomerate layer, because it's flattening out a little. Okay, that's north 57 east and that is 49 degrees to the northwest. Okay, so what we're going to do is cross the road now and get some measurements on the other side. Okay, and you can see that beautiful antiform sitting right here. So that goes across the road from here to the other side. And you can see the antiform on the other side now is showing up. So we can measure both strike and dip through here, as well as get some idea of what the fold is doing. Okay, so why don't we try and see what the fold is doing to start off with before the traffic gets too bad. We're standing right in the core of the antiform right now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to estimate what the axial plane is going to be. So, can you see? So, okay, so we can look at the axial plane on the other side, and we can line it up by just using our board. I'm standing in the middle and I could get an approximate axial plane. Now, you're going to use your stereo nets to confirm this, but you need to have some kind of control on it. So I get as an axial plane, and let me see, maybe it'd be better this way. My axial plane is north 45, north 43 degrees towards the, nope, I'm gonna get north 46 degrees towards the east, and it is dipping at It is dipping at 74 degrees towards the northwest. So the axial plane, you can see, is coming straight across the road like so, and it's dipping that way towards the northwest. To take a look at that again, yeah, maybe 72. This is very eyeballed, and we'll look at the way it shoots across from the road. Yeah, north 53, 54, but that's kind of an approximate number of what your axial plane will be for this fold. Now we can also get the fold axis for this fold, because that's going to be about the orientation of the fold axis. But if we look down at the spine of that fold, and you could see it right up there. I go down or up. So you could see right up there that you could see that fold. And so if I take my compass and line it up with that line on the top of the spine of the fold, which has a name, you'll tell me what the name is, I can see that it is approximately 11 degrees. And the 11 degrees is going in the direction of southwest. So my plunge angle is going to be about 11 degrees southwest, and that will help constrain it when you plot your stereo net measurements. Now let's go to the fold and get a couple more measurements around the fold. We might also get a little cleavage measurements. So you can see in here, we can see both sides of the fold. In here, we have this side dipping to the northwest. A lot of northwest measurements already. You've got to be careful when you plot these that you don't overemphasize that. So let's take a look at a couple of the southeast measurements that we can get in here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is come right in here, put my plane, my board on top of here. Notice again, this is why, you know, you get measurements in books and they're all one thing, but when it comes to going out in the field, life might be a little different. So let's see what this comes in at. So this is north 56 east, or 056, and the dip on it is 59 towards the southeast. Okay, so we have another southeast measurement for us. Let's see if we can get another one up here maybe. Okay, here is a bedding surface again. Maybe we ought to try it in there. Let's see, we'll just go here with the bedding surface. And that bedding surface measures at north 69 east, and this looks a little shallower. It certainly is. North 69 east, and come on, north 69 east and 41 degrees towards the southeast. Okay, maybe we can even get one more. Let's see. A little tough up here. Yeah, if that's gonna work. Okay, so I guess that's probably not gonna be able to get that. Maybe. It would be, so it's north 73 east. And that, oh, that comes a little high. Let's see, is that right? Yeah. North 73 east, and that would be 36 towards the southeast. Okay, so we have a few more measurements on that side of the fold, which we need because we're got too many on the other side. Here we can see some in here that might be usable. Maybe. Yeah, okay, let's try that. Hope nothing comes out and bites me. Okay, so let's go. This is north 68 east, and North 68 east, and 54 to the southeast. Okay, so we have a couple more on this side of the fold. Let's go on, get a couple more on the other side. We think we have a lot from this side, so we don't want to, you got to be careful what you plot, because you don't want to have too much from one side than the other. Okay, so we are on the other side now. Looks, we got some pairs here, some crossbred pairs. So let's start with the top set. And the top set on this one is North 47 east, and North 47 east, 59 to the northwest. Let's try that top set right there. And that is North 49 east. That's very steep. North 49 east, 81 to the northwest. So there you have another top set, 4-set pair to use. Okay, well, let's see what we could do. Maybe 1 or 2 more measurements, and I think we're going to be done here for these. Let's try this one. Okay, this is North 42 east. And 46 towards the northwest. So we're getting close to the end here on this. A couple more things we'll do, and that'll be it. All right, anything else here we might want? We probably have a lot in this side that's going this way, so we don't want to kind of overshoot the information on us. So let's instead take a look at the cleavage. Okay, so again, the other thing we can look at on here is cleavage. Now, the one place that really shows you what's happening in the cleavage is to look right here, which is right at the you know, hinge area of the fold. So if we take a look at that, we can start and measure a couple of cleavages around the fold. So we can see that the cleavage is all kind of headed in that direction. There's a cleavage plane right here. So we can measure this cleavage in at North 56 east, and the dip on it, that's almost 90. North 56 east, and this is 84 towards the south, towards the northwest, sorry. Now, what about if we move on to the one in here? You can see again, the cleavages are all going about that way. So strikes might be a little bit rough on these, but we'll give the best we can. Okay, this has got a north 61 degrees or 061 strike, and that is dead 90 degrees. Okay, so that's vertical. The next one we're going to try to measure is right here. Okay, we'll see what that one does. And that's North 74 east or 074. And what we got here now, this is got an 85 degrees, and that is going to the southeast. Okay, now let's move around. You can see one right here, and maybe this one. Okay, north 67 east, 067, and it is now at 76 degrees towards the southeast. Here's an easy one to measure for a change. These are getting tough. Okay, so this one, is that a cleavage or something else? Let's go to this instead. That might not be a good measurement. And this one is North 74 4 degrees east. And it is at 67 degrees towards the southeast. So you can see the cleavage is changing a lot. Let's try one more on the end here. Okay, that is again north 74 east, and now it is way over at 60 degrees towards the southeast. So you can see the cleavage has swung all the way over from pretty much going in this direction, you know, a little bit towards the northwest, towards vertical, and then way over like that. So you can name what kind of cleavage that is and how it was formed. Now the next thing we're going to take a look at before we finish out this field trip is there's one feature I want you to see on this bedding surface. So we can see these are bedding surfaces in here, and I could see this on the other side as well. So what I can do when I take my hand and I slide it along, it slides very easy in this direction, but in this direction it's very rough. I bump my hands on all these rough surfaces. So then you can see that there's little lineations on the surface of the bedding. Okay, notice that these lineations in here, those have a name, and they are indicating slip. So this side has, where my hand would have slipped this way relative to the beds, which would have gone the other way. So we would add a relative sense of motion like this. What are those called? Okay, so you can look that up. You can see them right in here. And it's telling us that there was some kind of movement on the bedding surface. Think about where I am, what limb I'm sitting on, which is going to be on this southeast limb of this antiform. So I'm coming up on the top of the antiform, and there is that slippage. Okay, so you can see then that that's what kind of thing is going on. Notice the cleavage in there as well. I could probably get another measurement of cleavage for your collection. And here's some cleavage coming right through like that. And that cleavage is north. Let's make sure I get that straight. North 59 degrees east, 059. And .059, and it's vertical. Okay, so we have 059 vertical. You can see there's a little bend to the cleavage as it comes through here, so maybe a little bit of refraction going on. That could screw up our numbers a little, but nonetheless, that's what you have. So what you can do then, and as you can see, this is, now we're going to be able to see the fold across the street a little better. You could see that the fold across the street a little better. There's a synform a little bit hidden. It used to be shown up much better, but that's the folds that are that we just went through and measured. There's the synform behind the trees. You can see it coming down in both directions. There's your synform, there's your antiform in this structure, and that's what we've just measured. So if you plot up all of these these strike and dip symbols, you can be able to analyze this fold with the other information that I've given you. Now notice it also has the fold goes to the other side. We're not going to look at that now, but you can see this is very interesting that that antiform goes right across the road, and that's why this is an impressive spot.